Remdesivir is a medication that the United States has activated through the advice of the FDA. Is Nigeria adopting that line of medication too?
Yeah, so Ashew, I'm really happy you brought up this question because it's kind of a victory for science. You know, over the last few days, we've gotten emerging evidence for the first drug that has shown evidence of efficacy. It's a drug called Remdesivir that came to prominence over trials to use it for the Ebola virus, where it didn't really work. So those trials did not show that it worked for Ebola. But these drugs remain in our arsenal. We now tried it in a clinical trial, and we have seen that it does produce benefit to people. And, you know, in the beginning of this outbreak, there was a lot of pressure, not just on NCDC, on state governments across the country to buy and invest in medications. I won't name them by name, but many types of pills, both conventional, medical, and everything else. And I stood firm and said, listen, we have to wait for the science to come through for us, for the clinical trials to evolve, because what we don't want to do is give people something. Not only are we not sure it works, it could actually cause harm. Many of these drugs that we take have side effects. And if we don't know that the benefits outweigh the side effects, then as a doctor, I am causing more harm to my patient. And the one vow as a doctor that we take as most sacrosanct is to cause no harm. So I'm actually happy that finally some clinical trial evidence has emerged about a new drug. What we now need to do is gain access to this drug. It's a difficult process at the moment, but we've started those conversations to enable access to Nigerians. We will speak with NAFDAC to hasten, speed up the regulatory process so we can make this drug accessible and available to Nigerians. So it's the first step, and that's how science works. Sometimes it's slower than we want it to be, and we would like it to be, but that's really what we have to do. And the same is for vaccines, the same for drugs, and the same for all the other measures that we need to now put in place. We need to be sure that they work before we throw them out for Nigerians to use.
Any feedback on the success or any kind of feedback on chloroquine and the clinical trials on that?
So thanks a lot. There's no evidence yet that hydroxychloroquine provides any benefit, and that's the point I was trying to make, that, you know, the use of this drug should only be limited to settings where we use it in the context of a clinical trial. There's been a lot of pressure to procure a lot of hydroxychloroquine and chloroquine and start distributing and start using. And we've always asked people to exercise caution until we have the evidence, just like we have from this study, that it actually works, because no drug comes without harm. Harmful to the individual taken. So we needed that evidence to be out. It's not out yet. So our guidance is clear on the NCDC website on what to use to manage people. And it doesn't include hydroxychloroquine at the moment.